El Senor Recruiting.
It's one of the things I do.
Oh, what is the other business?
So I sell,
My other mistress. Yeah.
kind of like the gym launch model for door-to-door sales. So I coach on sales, leadership, and recruiting, which then has led to through a recruiting department. So we have like a recruiting firm, we have a mastermind, online education, and events. So those are kind of the verticals.
Okay. So those are products.
Those are the products.
Okay. But it's the same avatar.
Same. Well, the problem is there's 3 avatars: rep, sales leader, and then owner. So we service reps, management, and owners.
But you sell to the owners.
All 3. So
Word.
think the salespeople have a sales track.
Okay.
The leadership have a leadership track. And the owners have an ownership.
What's revenue?
Last 3 years we've kind of capped at around 7.5 million.
Okay.
We'd like to be at 15 million.
Okay.
But just seem to just hit this invisible ceiling.
Okay.
So, I think talking to Ed, it has been. That's why he's like, you just need to say this to Alex and let him just pick you apart.
Yeah.
So, I think I am what am stopping me just because I have that.
Well, it's always
innovation.
us.
Yeah. So I will take ownership of that.
Yeah.
We, I think, are trying to bite off so many different things to where it's just like team bandwidth and
Yeah, you have 3
leadership.
companies.
Yeah.
3 avatars, 3 companies. Okay, so you have sales dude, right?
Yep.
All right, and what's this guy buy?
So one-time 12-month online course. So
Okay,
think of
so
like
for how much?
for little one $197, big one $1,500.
Okay, so 197 and then 1,500.
And then they can buy the mastermind, which is up to 10 grand.
Okay.
So
Okay.
like that's the ascension, right?
Okay. What's the second business? Yeah.
Sales manager would be the next avatar.
Okay.
Which he would go kind of the same track.
Same price?
Same price.
But different stuff.
Same price, different stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Just different track.
Okay. What's the next? And then owner.
Owner. Typically the model would be business boot camp to $2,500.
In person?
Yep, this
All right.
thing. And then mastermind would be 35 grand, or the model would be they come in and buy an online for their team, so that's $6,900 plus $500 to whatever, $50 a user, and so they pay recurring.
Okay. 1,600 is like
Start.
set up?
Yep, set up, then $50 a user. And then we give them a free ticket to that boot camp and then upsell them into the mastermind.
So
and
you
then,
sell this on the front end sometimes too.
Yeah, so we'll sell that plus the recruiting. So we call that a pro package. Exactly, I know. You can see my constraint here, exactly. So the pro would be like for a business owner, it's like you get the training and the recruiting done for you. We build out your training system, we build out your recruiting system, and that's like 15 grand.
Do you have an organic following?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why. So super common when someone's like organic only or organic as their primary is that you sell a product and you make money and then you say, oh, well, shoot, what else can I sell? And then you come up with another product because you have this fixed pool.
Yep.
And you're like, I want to just put as many lines in this one pond as I possibly can so I can make as much as I can. And it makes sense until it doesn't.
Yep.
Rather than what is the one thing that has the highest operating leverage, that has the highest revenue retention, and then how do I expand the pond? And so typically it's like you figured out one thing, which is like you figured out how to make content, which is where your lead flow comes from. But if you want this, like the answer to you getting to 15 or 25 or 100 isn't going to be like, I'm going to also do sales massages and a sales newsletter, right? Like what else can I sell these people? I prefer businesses that are straight lines, like front door, door 2, door 3, and then call it a day. And then the question becomes, how do we put more people in the front door? It just makes life a lot simpler. That is a big strategic question for you. So this is more of a, like if we're flipping off the page, like what's our issue here? It's a model issue. And so the thing is that everything that you did is not inherently wrong. It was logical. It's just that when you're a small business you have such limited resources that your ability to do anything well is so constrained that it's like you might as well just pick one thing, because you're competing against people who only do each of those elements on their own as their main business. And so let's zoom back out. Which of those avatars that you just named is the most valuable avatar to the business?
Owner, for sure.
Okay. So if owners came in, what's the revenue percentage if you had a split here?
Probably 80% owners.
80? Bro, what do we
Yeah. Okay.
So I've got this great thing. I have this idea. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut out 80% of your work, and we're going to make 20% less money, and your margins are going to go up. Yeah, it sounds like you just need to sell to owners, and then go get more owners.
Just focus on that.
Yeah.
The next question I have on that then is, so training has its own fulfillment, its own model. Recruiting has its own, they kind of go, and then there's the mastermind. Do you find getting a leader or like a kind of a product owner for each of those verticals? Because it still kind of hits all three of those. All three of those are really profitable.
Yeah.
Would you just find like a dude that kind of runs each one of those?
Yeah, you can have somebody who owns a division or owns a revenue line. Yeah.
Or do they share like a marketing team and they share a sales team? Like, that's been my struggle.
This is front door. This is the whole front door idea, which
Yeah.
is like, if you have one team, and obviously this depends on size of business, and so I'd love to give you like, this is exactly when it happens, but you'll have a front end team that sells the front end thing, and then typically, because there's so many fewer customers than there are leads in general, and then that customer base from the first sale becomes the leads base for the second sale.
Okay.
Right? You can have significantly fewer people who actually do ascensions, and you just take your one or two guys who are the best people from your front end team, make them the back end team, and let them do the ascensions for you, and you can get to 100 million a year with like 2 or 3 guys on ascension. It does, especially with the ticket sizes that you're talking about. Not hard. And so right now it's just like, we have to fulfill for owners. That's the main game. And you do recruiting and you do training for their teams as a result, correct? I mean, I'll bet you that the $50 a month per user thing is relatively sticky. Yeah?
Very sticky.
Yeah. So like, that's the best business. So I'll bet you the sales dudes is not that sticky.
Nope.
Right? And the manager's probably not that sticky either. So like, you have a good business here. You just have to cut off the appendages. So if you think about like pruning a tree, like if you want the tree to grow, you got to prune off the bad branches. So you're just pruning. That's okay. It's normal, because unconstrained growth is also called cancer, which kills you. And so we just have to cut the cancer out and focus all of your nutrition and resources, the water, the sunlight, et cetera, on the one tree branch or the one central stalk that's going to keep growing, that's super high margin and very sticky. And I would say that like, that's step one. And then step two is, okay, great. Now how do we, like, once we've fixed the model, which is what we just did basically, now we go back to the top and say, great, why can't we sell 100 owners a week? What's holding us back? And then that's what we would attack.
So the next question, just randomly, there's different verticals in door-to-door. So you have like solar, pest, alarms, all the different verticals. Would you just take all things door-to-door, or would you niche down into roofing?
Door-to-door.
Okay, cool. Stay there. And then would there be an argument to go beyond into, maybe they're not in door-to-door, but they're home services? Because it is a lot of the stuff we do is applicable very much so in...
How much is not applicable?
Maybe 20%.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with door-to-door or home services. Both those feel fine to me.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's still that's fairly niched down enough, because they have similar problems.
Yeah, it's kind of the same.
Because it's more, and this is how I'd frame it if I were selling it to an owner who's like, wait, I'm solar and these guys are pest control. I'd be like, do you guys knock on doors and get people in their houses to give you money? Yeah? Okay, great. Same sale. Right?
Okay.
Right? Now, sure, there's financing, blah, 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 but like, it's a separate sub-module. It's not that hard to explain to somebody.
Cool.
But yeah,
All right.
That's what we do first, clean up the model, and then drive 10 times more on the top end.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
If you are a business owner and you are not growing as fast as you'd like, I'd like to give you a free gift. So my team and I put together the $100 million scaling roadmap, which is basically 200 hours of us looking over all the portfolio companies we've had and what stages of growth they went through, and more importantly, where they got stuck and how they got past it. And so we broke it into these 10 stages, and we made this little kind of quiz thing where if you put in your business information, it'll tell you where you're at, and the most important part for you, what to do for each of the functions of the business across product, marketing, sales, customer success, recruiting, IT, human resources, and finance. And so no matter what you're struggling with, someone else has already struggled with it and solved it. And so I'd like to give you this thing absolutely free. You can go to acquisition.com/roadmap, plug in your business information. And if you want us to actually help you deconstrain the business and you're trying to scale, we'd love to help you out. On the thank you page, you can just book a call with my team and we will look at the business, see if we can help. And if we can, we'll invite you out to Vegas and we'll do this in person live.